In today's video, the Kentucky state capital, located in the small city of Frankfort, very close to Lexington, the horse capital of the world. Also, the Woodford Reserve Distillery tour, and yeah, we might see some horses along the way. All that and more, coming up next. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah. Well, here we are at the Kentucky Horse Park Campground, our home for the next 2 nights. This weekend, they are having their annual 3-day event, one of the world's most prestigious equestrian competitions, so it is going to get real busy here tomorrow. Here's the office and the laundry facility behind it, so let's check in. A quick visit to the dump station is in order, since our site here is only water and electric. Okay, let's go explore, driving through this beautiful Kentucky countryside. We are not going to do the full tour of Lexington today, that will be tomorrow probably. Today I just want to drive around a little bit, get the lay of the land. Tomorrow we'll get off the car and do a walking tour. Yes, walk around, the only way to really see a city. We're going through Main Street here, through the historic part of town, and it is a very pretty city. I can't wait to come back tomorrow and explore a little bit. Check out the Abraham Lincoln mural and Thoroughbred Park. The historic courthouse. Part of the reason we've left Lexington for tomorrow is because we are really tired. Even though it wasn't such a long drive from Louisville, it felt a lot longer because we took all the scenic roads and stopped often. Here we are near the famous Keeneland Race Track, and we wanted to visit, but we'll see. And here we are at the town of Versailles. You know, like the famous French palace near Paris or the Cuban restaurant in Miami, Versailles. By the way, there is another town nearby called Paris, so they have the French thing going on around here. We are on our way to Frankfort, the state capital, the 4th smallest state capital in the United States, with less than 30,000 inhabitants. The Kentucky River. The dandelions are everywhere this time of the year, which is, by the way, late April. Here's the state capital. The current building dates back to 1910, the 4th permanent capitol building since Kentucky became a state in 1792. The previous building from 1830 still stands, and we'll see it here in a few. Uh-oh, black helicopters. Kidding aside, it is very pretty around here. Also all these flowering dogwood trees here. Let's explore the other side real quick. They have this floral clock here in the back, built in 1961, and according to the plaque, one of the largest in the world.
Well, this used to be a fountain, but it's off right now. And this is here in the back of the Capitol building. This is the Capitol Annex. And this is the behind, the rear of the Capitol. And it looks like they're doing some repairs up there. Let me zoom in on these guys. Oh, pressure cleaning it. Cool. That's why it looks so nice.
Let's go to the other side of town, going across the Kentucky River here. And I made a wrong turn. And here we are, approaching the small downtown area. I'm going to park right here and explore, and check out the old Capitol building across the street. This here is St. Clair Street, and there are a couple of restaurants and bars, not very lively though. And there's once again the old Capitol building, the one I was talking about earlier, the one from 1830. The Bourbon oak barrels, practically a symbol of Kentucky. The old Art Deco theater. The Franklin County Courthouse. Let's check out the Kentucky River here real quick. The water might be a little dirty, but very, very nice otherwise. It is kind of late, and there's not a whole lot more to see here at this time of the day. Besides, we're kind of exhausted and not in the mood, so let's return to the campground. Tomorrow will be a brand new day. From the Kentucky Horse Park. Yes, it is a brand new day here, so let's get ready to continue exploring Lexington and its surroundings. I think today is the first day of the famous 3-day event. I see some horses in the distance.
Kind of, sort of. Back of the campground, and there's someone mowing the lawn right there.
That must be the racetrack out there, maybe.
And there we are.
Well, let's finish getting ready and hit the road. Yay! Found parking serendipitously right in front of the visitor center. We couldn't have planned it better. They of course have this decorated horse here, it being the horse capital of the world and all that.
I was able to get this walking tour map from the nice ladies at the visitor center. And this is called Triangle Park. Oh, the name is there.
Sometimes nothing beats a paper map when you are in a new city, and this is one of those times. Triangle Park here, not so old, only dating back to the 1980s with 100 stepped fountains. Yeah, very pleasant. Blue Lex, the blue horse, is pretty much the symbol of the bluegrass region of Kentucky, and Lexington is at its very heart. We start walking west here on Main Street, passing by the First Baptist Church. Well, they are all first, aren't they? This one dates back to 1913 and the sign looks like it hasn't been repainted ever since. Next, we find the Mary Todd Lincoln's house, First Lady Abraham Lincoln's wife. She was born in Lexington in 1818, not far from here. Yes, in 2018 we are celebrating her bicentennial. They moved here in 1832, and it is said that when Lincoln visited, he loved to read at the library. Romance rituals have certainly changed over the years, haven't they? Really, Lincoln? Reading? Anyway, admission is $12 if you want to go inside and see what it was like back then. There we go, House of Bourbon. Too bad it is too early for that. According to the guide, this is what a typical middle-class neighborhood looked like in the mid-1800s. I mean, replace the cars with horse-drawn carriages, remove all the other modern anachronistic artifacts, and voila! This is, by the way, West Short Street. This here, Parker Place, is an Italianate-style brick house from 1871. It sits at exactly the very same spot where Mary Todd Lincoln's grandmother used to live. And here we have St. Paul's Roman Catholic Church, a Gothic revival structure from 1868. Man, this walking tour is marvelous. I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about. No need for Google. And there's Mom taking a selfie.
Oh, it is locked.
Whew, check that out. This is the site where Mary Todd Lincoln was born. Different house, probably, but it's all in the same neighborhood. Oh, by the way, according to the guide, the clocks were added in 1883. Hopcat. That's my kind of place. And right across the street, the Lexington Opera House. Oh, by the way, we have turned north onto Broadway Street here. According to the guide, many of these houses were built before the Civil War. And we arrive at 3rd Street. Check out all the detail on these antebellum homes. Here's the Transylvania University and the Patterson Cabin. Colonel Robert Patterson here was one of the founders of Lexington. That's quite a house, isn't it? On to Gratz Park we go. This was originally the campus lawn of the Transylvania University here. It is a lovely park with lovely houses all around it. The fountain, built in 1933 with funds left for a gift to Lexington's children. I wonder why they didn't give it to the children, but anyways.
We got some bluegrass and the tree and the modern skyscraper here in the historic neighborhood. Hello, horse. Alright, we continue here walking on North Mill Street by Gratz Park, that's what it's called back there. This is a very old historic area here in Lexington. Now we're gonna walk back down to Main Street, to downtown, and let's see what else we can see. Oh, by the way, I haven't mentioned it yet, but the term bluegrass refers to the very dark green grass we've been seeing around this area, which in springtime right now typically almost has like a bluish hue from being of such a rich dark green color. So there you have it, that's where the term bluegrass comes from. And here's the old Fayette County Courthouse. And this here to the left seems to be a pretty nice area, you know, to hang out with restaurants and bars. I bet you it gets livelier later in the day. Here's Lexington's tallest building. The locals call it Big Blue. It is officially the financial center. Well, hello there! Here we are back at the square, next to Triangle Park, coming full circle here. See what I did there? Yeah, geometry. Oh, well, there is quite a bit of traffic this time of the day. Okay, let's park right here. Our next point of interest is Thoroughbred Park. The main prominent feature here is this sculpture, these 7 life-size and lifelike bronze racehorses, streaking towards the finish line. Well, someone's gotta be last, right? Oh, the exquisite lifelike detail. There are also 42 plaques honoring historic figures of the industry. And it is a nice, peaceful park for the most part. A few homeless people here and there, but what can you do, right? Well, this we are. This was Thoroughbred Park, and they have all these sculptures of horses. And now let's see what else we can see around here. Probably some bourbon or some more horses. I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're going to do next, but should be fun. We wanted to go by the Keeneland Race Track. It is supposed to be beautiful, but yeah, we made a wrong turn. I mean, it is beautiful around here too, but just not our intended destination.
beautiful, the color of the bluegrass. Well, I am totally in love with this region of Kentucky.
Look at all these little flowers here. Check it out. We've got horses all over the place. We even got horses sleeping.
I've been itching to do a distillery tour ever since we got to Kentucky, so let's do that right now. This to the right here is the Kentucky Castle, which is a hotel, a farm-to-table restaurant, event venue with a medieval theme going on. Very expensive, I hear, but we're going to have to save that for some other time, not today. Well, you know there has to be a creek nearby for it to be good bourbon, right? It's all in the water, and I think this is it.
Oh, here we are, Woodford Reserve.
Ooh, and I haven't had any bourbon yet, you imagine? Very nice outdoors sitting area here, and there it is, the distillery back there. And a very nice tasting room behind the glass fireplace. I roam around a little bit while I wait for my tour to begin. The time has come, and they are going to take us on a tour bus to the nearby facility. First, we get the story about the water.
Because you came past some beautiful horse farms on the way in, didn't you?
Yes.
Here at Woodford, we're totally surrounded by horse farms. So the water is the reason that we can have these two iconic industries here in central Kentucky. We'll talk about how important it is. Well, we're going to be going into these beautiful limestone structures dating to the 1800s. Many historians say this place is one of the best examples of Scotch-Irish architecture left in the industry.
Well, basically, in a nutshell, the same limestone filtered water high in calcium, which is so great to breed strong horses, is also ideal to make great bourbon. And that's where the barrels come out and roll out on those rails, using gravity.
Called distiller's beer.
First, we come into this room where the fermentation takes place. Each tank at a different stage of fermentation. We get the explanation about the 5 sources of flavor: water, fermentation, distillation, maturation, and the grain recipe. Let's go upstairs to see the top of the fermentation tanks, and we've seen this before at a different distillery, and they all look very similar. I'll put a link to that video. The one on the right here is really steaming, and all these others at different stages of fermentation
converting that sugar into alcohol, releasing heat and CO2 in the process.
You're over 21. You're 21 and over. You can taste.
She's gonna make us taste it now.
Makes bourbon and whiskey.
Doesn't taste very good.
So the next batch that's cooking right now is going to go into number 5. The steam has cleaned it on the inside, but the steam has also expanded those cypress boards so they don't leak. The only thing holding the boards together are these metal bands that run around the outside. Now, we can only see number 1, 2, and 3. If you can get close to number 3, come on up here. So put your hand over this mash at number 3, and you'll feel how warm it is. So inside each one of these tanks, where you can't see them, we have coils circulating cold water from our tank in the back. So that cold water is chilling the mash, even though it feels warm.
Next, we go into the still room, where the actual distillation takes place. Very cool looking distillation pots. And down there, there's a guy getting the barrels ready.
This is a great place to take a picture, although we're not allowed up on the platform. So while you're taking pictures, I want to tell you about distillation. Here in these 3 windows that correspond with the still, you can see clear liquid running like little waterfalls. We know that's not water, it's grain alcohol.
She passes around a 110 proof sample for us to smell, not to taste. And that's what goes into the barrels. Let's go see the barrels actually. The labels written by hand, using a stencil, the old-fashioned way. Out it goes, into those rails I showed you earlier. While the barrel fills up, see how he labels the barrels using the stencil. Okay, let's move along.
Everyone enjoying their dinner?
Pretty soon we'll be going up there to taste some bourbon. Yeah. What accumulates at the bottom of the column stills, which consists basically of water, proteins, fats, and the fibers of the mash, is actually sold for cattle feed. It still contains a little bit of alcohol, so there must be some happy cows roaming around out there. Now onto the rack house, where the bourbon sleeps for several years.
It smells good in here.
Barrels that weigh. The Woodford barrels all go through an initial extra step. We toast our barrels first.
Apparently, the toasting of the barrels helps release the flavors. There's a 20th anniversary of Barrel there with several signatures. Must be some pretty special stuff.
What, the smell or the tour?
The tour.
Now onto my favorite part, the bottling facility. Today they are not bottling Woodford, it is something else, another one of their brands, but I still find this extremely cool. I had never seen one of these facilities in action. Of course, sometimes a box gets stuck, so they have to get it unstuck. I guess everything else had to stop when that box got jammed. And the process starts again. Very cool, or groovy. I think nowadays young people say dope. Well, I think we've seen the whole process. Now let's go taste some of this stuff.
Before you walk in, then you can keep it if you like. So I'm going to Mexico for aging dark tequilas. And Virgin Islands and Jamaica for aging dark rums. Well, there's a candy for that person.
And here we are at the tasting room. They have the two bourbons we're going to taste and a special Derby edition.
Try to take you through a sipping method, and we'd like you to try to get 3 sips out of each sample. It is your bourbon, you paid for it, so if you think you're on Panama City spring break again and feel like shooting one back, well, I will not judge, that's for sure. So if you have some older bottles of Woodford, now it says Distiller Select up here, but before it said LeBron Graham. The one on your left, which is our regular Woodford. Okay. And we want to nose it a little bit like the experts do. If you want to, eat some chocolate, drink a little bit of this bourbon, add ice or water if you like. It's up to you.
Well, that was one great tour.
And while I was tasting inside, there was my mom taking pictures of me through the glass fireplace. Well, for $15, that was a great distillery tour. I fully recommend it. It is mile after mile of these beautiful horse farms. And there are cows as well. We've got one more mission, one more stop today, getting some wine, and this Echoes Run vineyard comes highly recommended. In a couple of days we're going to visit my wife's side of the family in North Georgia, and I want to take them some Kentucky wine. And I wish I had time to do a tasting.
Got a bottle, we're leaving.
One of these days, we'll return and do a tasting for sure, but right now we're hungry. Notice we haven't had lunch yet. So let's go back to the campground and grill some burgers, shall we? It is a lot more crowded than this morning for sure.
Drink some West 6 Brewing IPA from here, from Lexington, Kentucky. Which is very good, I might add. And we're gonna do some burgers now. Which is mine and which is yours?
Good morning. It is a foggy morning here in Lexington, Kentucky. Actually, the fog is coming down right now. It wasn't this foggy earlier. But as you can see, we can barely see the horse park back there.
There's a horse. It's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Time to go! The Smoky Mountains await.
Since we are here and we have this this dedicated faucet for flushing, we're gonna flush the black water tank there. And what I do, and this is kind of gross, but I'm gonna flush it until I don't see any more solids coming out of that, until the water comes out clear. Always dump the black tank first and then the gray tank, in that order. Very important. Now all that soapy water is cleaning our hose.
Riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah, I'm riding. On the next video, we're going to drive to Tennessee, stay at the Pigeon Forge KOA, and visit Gatlinburg and the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So, yeah, the adventure continues. If you have enjoyed traveling with us, make sure you are subscribed and check out my other videos. Also, share it with your friends, spread the word, and leave me a comment. Now, if you really liked it, you have a chance to show your support at patreon.com/travelingrobert. As always, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.